Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the War Zone. I thought I put Pastor Jamie next to me. There he is. It's like everything's lagging tonight. Sorry for our tardiness. Should have been here at 7:15, but of course, we had a little bit of technical difficulties because of the message just coming out tonight. If you guys out there could continue to pray for the stream and the airwaves and all that, because what's being brought tonight is going to be some pretty awesome stuff. It's going to be a little heavy, but it's good stuff. And we're starting off with a pretty awesome word from Julie Green. So, how are you tonight, Jamie?
I'm wonderful, man. I just kind of rolling in myself, running a little late myself tonight, but I'm here. I got my Coke Zero and my what am I?
Bucky's.
Oh no,
That's
Mission
Michigan.
barbecue cup.
But
Yeah,
you went to Bucky's. I saw your little bag of Bucky's.
yep.
What are those?
Those are dark chocolate espresso beans.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
So
That
I'm gonna be
sounds.
up all night. Yeah.
He's just sitting there eating them like popcorn before the broadcast.
Uh,
Oh my gosh. Well, man, this is week number 9.
oh
Week
my goodness.
so
Week number 9.
nine
Yeah,
number
I
four
have
spirit.
no idea where Davey's going tonight. So I know there's a lot going on in the news. There's a lot of panic around. I think the enemy is panicking in a lot of areas. I think we're going to see some major breakthrough. I think, at the end of the day, Joshua, that God's just asking us to trust Him
Mm-hmm.
and, trust Him all the way through and watch Him be the great deliverer in the end. So, we always have to do our part.
Oh yeah.
And but I am anticipating what Davey's going to bring to the table tonight. I heard you say you're going to start off with Julie Green. I'm sure she's got a now word that's coming out, and hopefully there's some things that we've been seeing and hearing ourselves that will confirm that revelation. There's nothing like, man, when you already know something and God uses someone else to bring a confirmation to what you're hearing, then you know that it's pretty much from the Lord and that He is speaking something and we're hearing. So I'm excited about tonight.
Absolutely. Well, without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Davey Sapp. What up, Davey?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Have you had any helicopters above?
No, I did hear a vehicle out there spinning out, the, the
But because they
big
messed
the
with your
big
internet.
metropolis of White Oak. That's kind of odd. So I said, I heard the dogs barking. I said, Jen, who is that? It's Amazon. Okay.
Oh, Amazon. I think
Just
that's up.
Amazon. No helicopters, just Amazon.
Buddy, they're messing with your internet tonight, though.
For sure.
Have you got Live Oak or you got Clearwave? You
I
got
have got
TDS.
I've got what I call Saplink, supported by Starlink.
Oh. So, what you think of Starlink? Well, yeah, like what, we'll get into that later. But man, let's jump in tonight. I've got that keyed up at 7 minutes and 49 seconds. So, if you're ready, or if you want to give an intro and just if you want to preface anything before we get started.
Yeah, just kind of give folks a little idea what we're going to cover tonight. We're going to mix it up, right? We can't just always look at slides and always in the past, and although that's very interesting, and we're going to go through all of them because that's going to build our faith into some of these more recent prophecies that Julie's been giving out about what's going to happen. But we're actually going to listen to Julie's Monday prophecy of this week that she gave out. And then I'm going to take folks kind of on a journey of how to tie these things together. Okay. And some of the things that she's going to talk about are going to be a little bit hard to believe for all the skeptics and all of us. I mean, we all have a certain level of skepticism, and to a certain extent, that's helpful, right? Because we want to test things. We want to make sure that what we're watching is as true as we can best discern. Then we're going to go and do a little word search on some of the things she says and kind of show folks how to do word search may hear things that may have been mentioned in prophecy. So if you want to start with Julie's Monday prophecy, and as soon as she's done with the prophecy, she starts talking, you can stop it, and then we'll go on to the next one.
All right. And can y'all guys see it?
Absolutely.
We're gonna hit play and make it big.
No volume.
Yeah. Hold on a second. My
Can you
bad.
get 7 minutes and 49 seconds queued up again?
I got you. I'll do it right now.
Good luck on that one.
I know, right? All right. So make sure.
7:54 is fine.
That's so weird. See, guys, this stuff I'm talking about. All right, I'm gonna kick it wide right here. Make sure that everything is rolling good.
And this is the first paragraph. Now, this is from October 11th. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that was Friday. My children, I have told you before that a darkness is coming, a darkness that can be felt. This darkness will feel like it has set in and will not go away. A darkness that will be very heavy. You may be asking, why, Lord? Why does a darkness have to come when you are light? And your glory destroys the darkness. So why will it get worse? My children, I never said this darkness was for you. I'm protecting you like I did my people in the land of Goshen, where there was light when Egypt was swallowed up in a gross darkness. This will be the same. I am warning you of this because catastrophes will take place in front of you, but you will not be a part of it. I did not want your hearts to fear. I did not want you to grow weary while you saw these things taking place.
Amazon hates this, but there's nothing they can do to stop it. There's a new electric lighter out there, and it's got the firepower of a military-grade flamethrower. It's already been banned from Home Depot, Amazon, and Walmart for being too powerful.
It wasn't for you. Your enemies are for a rough road ahead, but you are my children, so separate yourselves from this mess with my word and with my truth that you are in this world, but you are not of it. Some of my children will not heed these warnings, and they will choose a path of destruction, not knowing they didn't have to. They will choose the evil report instead of mine. My children, you are living in not only unprecedented times, but biblical times, where scientists, atheists, and the world elites, and anyone who is against me, cannot deny my power or my existence because of the things I'm about to do upon this earth for you, children of Almighty God. Just as Egypt cannot deny my power, neither can these enemies you are facing. Their plans are doomed. Their empires will collapse into nothing because they're against me. The world will see that there is nothing and no power bigger than the great I am, says the Lord of hosts. Your enemies are trying to strangle this nation until it has no more fight and no more breath left in it. But right when your enemies believe they finally have what they want, it will be ripped from their bloody hands and their power will be stripped away like it was never there. I've told you before, I will cut your enemies off. And where they were, they will not be much longer. A court case is about to rip your enemies apart. A case they never thought would take place because they had threatened and blackmailed your Supreme Court justices. Yes, something that will rock this nation as a boldness sets in and a revolt will take place. A Supreme Court justice will rise in boldness and rule in the way he was threatened not to. Enemies of Almighty God in Washington, you don't own that court. And you don't pull the strings on what they can or cannot rule on. You cannot blackmail anyone because I have opened a door for whom I have chosen. and they'll be safe in a safe place when they rule you out of yours. Oh, the Washington establishment, this nation does not belong to you, and what you are planning to do next against this nation and my David will further your demise. Secrets are coming from Guantanamo you never wanted out. Secrets on who has been there. And some of them are singing like canaries and telling everything they know about you. Many were a part of the establishment, but they see it as a sinking like the Titanic, and they chose to switch sides to save themselves. So all who are in DC against me, I, the Lord of hosts, have your number, and it's about to run out. There are people in your three-letter agencies that have turned over secret videos, emails, and explosive evidence because they have turned against you. After the assassination attempts against my David, they have turned against you because what they have seen at the border and what they know is the plan for your foreign military to strike your own nation. There are people turning away from you left and right because a mass exodus from the establishment to save this nation and their freedoms from the clutches of your hands to destroy your power. Oh, leaders of DC who are against me, do you not see people no longer are falling for your charade and your escapade? My October surprise is coming that will rock you to your core. It will crumble your foundations and destroy your walls. This surprise is one you can't run from. The skeletons are coming out in the open that will destroy your narrative and shred your power apart. The surprise will definitely take you by surprise. You thought this would never get into the wrong hands. You thought you deep enough where it would be never be unearthed. You were wrong, and I have all your secrets at the perfect time. I will release them. And all that will hit you will be like a nuclear bomb where it isn't a safe place for you to run. So enemies of Almighty God, you will not have this nation an election, and you will not kill my David or his family. You will never have Israel. You will not bring down Netanyahu. This is the time for my church to strip you of your power over this nation, and they will plunder everything that you have stolen from them. A wave is coming that you cannot stop. My hand is moving to rip this land and who it belongs to out of your hands. My nation will live on, and some of you will not. So back off and back down. My nation will rise and see a great and mighty victory, saith the Lord of hosts. The Caspian Sea will be in the news for a significant reason. I told you, my children, biblical things will take place that were like the land of Egypt. And you will see what will take place as a sign. I am putting your enemies in their place. Someone from the left is about to give up Kamala. A great shaking is happening. There is someone that's about to turn over secrets and let them out through the airwaves as revenge. Kamala is failing, and yes, but soon she will fall, says the Lord. My children, I have told you they didn't want Kamala, and they didn't. What has taken place with her is similar to the Biden. All the puppets in Washington are about to be exposed in an unprecedented way. Keep your eyes on Fetterman. He has a big secret to tell, as he is not who he says he is either. Some puppets are on my side that your enemies didn't know about. They have heard and seen things in darkness that is about to be put in the open. Get ready, O United States, for Washington is about to shake like never before. A cleansing is happening in your capital for the world to see. It could only have been done by me, saith the Lord, your Redeemer. And I just heard this last night too, and as I'm sure all of you did, there was another assassination attempt against President Trump. This is the third one that we know of. There was somebody who was caught. They had things in their vehicle. explosive, guns, whatever it was. And so it was stopped again.
Okay. So, Josh, you've got the, all right, there you go. We're all back. All right, so I wanted to play that prophecy that happened Monday. She mentioned on, I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week, that she had received a word. I think that word was actually received on October the 11th. But she had mentioned before Monday that she was going to have something on Gitmo. Did you catch that? That folks have been to Gitmo and are talking, but they're trying to save themselves. And so, as you hear these prophecies, and then you're watching other media channels like And We Know or Elijah Streams, always keep the prophecy subject in the back of your mind, okay? Because a lot of times you'll run across other collaborating or coincidental evidence that will tie these things together. So what you're about to hear is a segment that aired September the 30th on Elijah Streams with Dr. Jan Halper. Dr. Jan Halper has been on GBN. She is let me see if I can pull it up here just to give you a little bit
Hey,
background on her.
I think this video that I'm getting ready to share aired September 12th.
Okay, September 12th. Just a few digits off, right? Appreciate that. Jan is internationally recognized for her advisory service and strategic change. Boards and executives trust Jan to solve the most complex organizational issues, blah, blah. So Dr. Jan Halper is a Republican commentator on BBC, ITV, BBC World Service, and NPR. She is also a former global vice president, UK chairman for Republican Overseas. So that's kind of her background. So you can think of her as a known Republican. Also, she's done some investigative journalist work. Now, I want you to listen more from a secular view now. So you've heard the prophetic, and now listen to what was aired. You said September the 12th, Josh?
Yes, sir.
By Dr. Jan Halper. Okay, go ahead.
In corruption, you'll take
I'm back for you.
and I go into the depth is that at this point in the plan, the fact
Hey, is that far enough back?
We can listen to the whole thing. It's about 10 minutes, or we can go to 7:30. 7 minutes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You did tell me to go to 7:30.
But folks can go back to Elijah Streams and find this.
All right, I'm starting from 7:30.
You don't talk about the military a lot, but I do realize that they're doing a lot of operations that none of us ever hear about. I'm assuming you've heard that and agree with that.
Oh, absolutely. And I've talked about the JAG ships that are off the coast of Australia, off the coast of Japan, off the coast of Italy and England.
Wow.
That those are 4 that I consistently am updated on, where
Really?
the tribunals are happening.
Okay, because I've had people say to me, someone who's a good friend of mine said, who didn't know where I stood and all that. This is like a month or 2 ago, and he said, "Steve, all of these people were saying that Gitmo was happening and people were being arrested and tried," and he goes, "And none of that happened." And I thought he wasn't awake enough to know that, so I didn't bother telling him. But you're confirming that these arrests by large numbers have happened. Tribunals are happening, and do those JAG ships also serve as prisons?
Yes, they do. And you can go online and see the construction advance of Gitmo from when Trump took office to what it looks like now. And you can get one in between. There was a picture in 2022, and now there have been more recent pictures out and continued to expand. There's a hospital facility there. And on Guam, that has expanded as well.
Okay, good.
Now, also, I know nothing about executions.
Yeah, okay.
So, who gets to stay and who has to go.
I hear you. And that we leave that to the rumor mill, I guess, because there's rumors that say that this person was and this person is in there. We just don't know what the real facts are. So that's the way we'll leave that. But we're both saying that.
All right, Davey, you got it.
Okay. All right. So you heard the prophecy that was heard October the 11th. You heard a secular type report, although Elijah Streams does have prophets on and things like that, and is Christian based. Dr. Jan Halper is not a prophet. So you heard that more from a secular view. So here's how my mind works. So I'm thinking, okay, well, now I've seen enough Julie prophecies that, I really don't question as much as I used to. I still go back and check and search and do things like that and do the due diligence. But I'll tell you how my mind works. Okay, wait a second. Julie heard the prophecy October the 11th. That was aired September the 12th. Now, maybe she heard it. Maybe that influenced it, right? I mean, everybody's mind thinks it goes in that direction. Is it just me, Jamie, or does everybody's mind start to think things like that? And you're muted.
So no, I can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you sometimes, when you work in the prophetic, you try to shield yourself from information because it can influence you a little bit. But what it does too, I'll say this because I'm not a prophet by no means, but sometimes I work in the prophetic. But having some form of information can get you into the stream of revelation / prophetic stream, and all of a sudden that knowing just a bit gets you into that stream, and all of a sudden you start getting downloads. So it's not that you know a lot, but knowing a little does help in the prophetic. I think at least it does, because what it does, it gets you in that stream. And once you get in that stream and that flow, all of a sudden you start getting downloads of stuff you did not know. So, but most of these prophets like Julie probably, and, Dutch Sheets and, whoever else you want to call out there, Robin Bullock, they try not to know because they're really wanting to be as clean as possible when it comes to hearing what the Lord is saying. But Dave, in this information society that we live in, it's almost impossible not to know, not to hear something. Yeah.
Okay. So now what I want to do is I'm going to take you two more places, right? So now I just told you, okay, the skeptical part of me says, oh, maybe she heard it, right? Because everybody thinks it, right? Now I want you to allow me or show my screen, Josh, and I'm going to play a video that I've shown in previous sessions, but I just want to remind folks what Trump said while he was president. I'm not going to I'm just going to play the video here, and you should hear the audio.
The Comeys of the world, all of the bad things that went on. It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on. And nobody else could have done it. I think in light of all of the
September the 12th was the secular information about Guantanamo. Of course, I already knew Trump said that back during his presidency because it's in the presentation. Then we heard the prophecy October the 11th. Now I'm gonna say, okay, well, what else has been said about tribunals? So I'm on Julie's site here, and I'm just gonna type in the word tribunals. There we go. Okay. So when you do that, there's several prophecies that pop up. I say half a dozen or so, right? Now we're not going to read all of these, but we'll read some of the excerpts, and then I'll take you to one of these. This one here, and what it does is it pulls out a few sentences before and after sometimes, or just the start of the word that's within the prophecy. So tribunals have started and soon will be seen, okay? It doesn't give you the date, but when you go into the actual prophecy, you can see when it was given out. This one, cut them off, and great judgment will be passed down. Not only will you hear of tribunals, okay, so the word tribunals are mentioned in saying they have happened and are happening. So what we're going to do is this one here. Well, I'm going to show you the actual prophecy. So when you click on that and you go into the actual prophecy, you see that date. The word received was December 29th, 2022. And if you hit, if you're on a keyboard, if you hit F3, you can search for any word you want. So in this case, I searched for tribunals, right? So it shows up here at the title. It also shows up down here, okay? And December 29th, 2022, I will say this again. Military moves have been made. Territory has been taken back. Tribunals have started. Judgment and justice are being served, even if you haven't seen them yet. It doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. It doesn't change the fact of what is really going on. Okay, Josh, you can bring us all three back in, or you can leave that up however you want it. Now, isn't that interesting? And that's, so you hear a recent prophecies talking about Gitmo, and then you go back to September the 12th, you hear a secular report of tribunals happening, JAG ships off the coast of several countries, and then you do a tribunal word search on past prophecies, and it talks about the same thing. Not only that, you have video of Trump saying he caught them all back when he was president. And if you'll remember, we also talked about early on in some of the sessions, we listened to Congressman Louis Gohmert. Okay. He was talking about reports he got of the battle over the servers early. I think it was early 2020, early 2021 or late 2020 or something like that, right after the election still happened. It was over in Germany. Okay. So that's just a real-time example, just happened this week, right, of how you listen to prophecy and then try to tie these things back to other things you're hearing in the news or on other channels. Any comments before we get back into the slides where we left off? Okay. I'm going to pick up where we left off.
So video or this right here?
It'll shoot over there. Just give me just a second.
Okay. Just want to make sure you didn't want to pick back up in the video.
All right. So again, for those who are new, what you're seeing in all of these slides here, you're seeing pieces of prophecy that I've extracted out of some of Julie's prophecies, and then some of the partial evidence, or sometimes conclusive evidence that these prophecies are or have been fulfilled. So this one here, March 10th, 2022, as the markets begin to crash, watch gold and silver. Both will suddenly skyrocket because they've been suppressed by man. To my United States of America, I said before, and I now say this again, you will go back to the gold standard. And I think it was in 2022 or 2023, legislation was passed for us to go back to the gold standard. So just watch that one. June 6, 2022, the gold standard is coming back. Silver will shock you to levels never seen. Just watch, my children. Precious metals are about to change forever. My financial kingdom is being set up upon this earth, and it will destroy the enemy's Babylonian system they put up in defiance of me. And you can see some of the news reports here talking about the supremacy of the US dollar, which is fiat currency. And just some recent news that has just came out. So everybody's aware, or should be aware, that US government's put sanctions on Russia. Okay. In response to that, and so that's the Russian ruble. I believe that's their currency, the ruble. In response to that, Russia has begun to trade in gold. And just within the last month, I believe they've now added silver as a currency to back the ruble. Okay. Now, what that's going to do, most likely, is drive up demand of silver. So you can see the prophecy, and then you can start to see some of the mechanics of how the silver value will rise, because the higher the demand goes, the lower supply goes. And right, it's the old demand supply theory that sends prices through the roof.
Hey, Davey.
Yeah.
I want to say something.
Okay.
So I think we're seeing some outlines of this prophecy even today. I was watching President Trump as he was speaking at the Economic Club of Chicago. Anybody see that today?
I didn't see it.
So he spoke at the Economic Club of Chicago today. He was getting drilled pretty good by whoever the moderator was. But this point came out because he was talking about the Federal Reserve, right? He was talking about the economy. He was talking about, and then this thought came out, or this I guess you would call it just this. I don't think the moderator asked him about the gold standard, but Trump just come out and he said, you know something? He says, if this nation does not go back to the gold standard, if it does not go back and have its economy backed by gold and silver, I think he just said gold. He said this nation will fall. He says, but you're going to watch. He goes, when I come back into office, he goes, I will make it like one of my priorities to turn this thing around, and once more, the United States of America will have a gold standard. He said that today in Chicago.
Wow, I didn't know that.
How about that?
Yeah, that's right on time there. Thank you for that, Jamie.
Yep.
That's amazing. I'll have to go look that up.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you can look at this December 13th, 2021 prophecy. I'll just read that clip here. America, I'm bringing you back to my gold standard. It was taken from you so they could manipulate and pull you down in every way. So Nixon took us off the gold standard. I believe it, what was it, 71, 72, somewhere right around there. They can manipulate you in every way so as to destroy this nation with immense debt, which they thought you could never recover from. Yes, the puppet masters used debt to bring this nation to its knees. Little did they know I am draining their accounts in the world's economies. Now I want to draw a parallel back to right before the children of Israel were released from Pharaoh, right? What did they do? They were like flooded when they asked. I think the Bible talks about asking the Egyptians for gold and silver, and I'm probably butchering it. Jamie might have helped me here, but they were flooded with money, so to speak, right? With the gold and silver as they left Egypt in that deliverance, as they were being delivered. Okay, now the book of Ecclesiastes talks about what has been will be again, right? We are now approaching another deliverance, all right? And so, what is this prophecy in 2021 talking about? It's talking about I am giving it to its rightful owners, talking about the money, right? Giving it to its rightful owners. My children, I am even wiping out all debt in this nation. Yes, I'm wiping it out like it never was there. Don't be moved by the numbers and how large the debt is, my children. That is nothing to me. I have more money on this earth than you know. I will show you, my children, where there is more gold to mine. I hid away silver and jewels until this hour in order to hand it over to my children. Yes, I hid it from the evil ones who would have used it against you. Call it in, my children. This is all for you. Okay. All right. Next slide here. A hailstorm will get the world's attention because of where it is located and how unusual it is. Watch for more unusual weather events to start to happen in multiple locations all over the world at one time. That was December 27th, 2022. You can see here storms drop grapefruit-sized hail over Texas during unsettled weather pattern across the South. So here's where it talks about you will hear and see hail the size never heard nor before seen. Softball, no bigger. Okay. And grapefruit's probably just a little bit bigger than a softball. And here storms drop grapefruit sized hail. That's to put a date on it there. That was April 26th, 2023, the prophecy in 2022. Lindsey Graham, I have given you the opportunity to do the right thing. Your door is closing in this time of repentance. So do it now, or judgment will hit your house. It will hit your house, saith the Lord. Now, a little bit of background on Lindsey Graham. If you go back and do your research, you will notice that Lindsey Graham and John McCain were over in Ukraine an awful lot. And you will see photos, I believe, of both of them with folks in Ukraine that are probably not the best folks to be hanging around. All right. So you might want to check that out. Listen to this video here.
Hatred. They tried to destroy Kavanaugh because they wanted to keep the Supreme Court seat open. They're trying to destroy Donald Trump because they fear him at the ballot box. To the conservatives out there, make sure you vote. If you got friends, make sure they vote. If you don't have any friends, go make some friends. But you need to help this man, Donald J. Trump. They're trying to drain him dry. He spent.
Look at his eyes. Look how red his eyes are.
So what's behind all this? Hatred. They tried to destroy Kavanaugh because they wanted to keep the Supreme Court seat open. They're trying to destroy Donald Trump because they fear him at the ballot box. To the conservatives out there, make sure you vote. If you got friends, make sure they vote. If you don't have any friends, go make some friends. But you need to help this man, Donald J. Trump. They're trying to drain him dry. He spent more money on lawyers than most people spend on campaigns. They're trying to bleed him dry. DonaldJTrump.com. Go tonight, give the president some money to fight this bullshit. This is going to destroy America. We're going to fight back at the ballot box. We're not.
Okay. Now you're seeing one side of Lindsey Graham, and so that's the for Donald Trump Lindsey Graham. All right. I'm not so sure which side Lindsey Graham is on, to be honest with you. And if you look at that prophecy, God was speaking directly to Lindsey, and so I'm not sure which way he's going with that. January 7th, 2022, all they have done will disappear, every law and all damage. I will reverse and annihilate these mandates. Vengeance is coming from me because they were stealing this nation and trying to rule the nations of the earth. Brace for this impact. Brace for this coming impact. my children, the impact of truth will be great, and for some, it will be hard to bear. And you see here, May 5th, 2023, yesterday, emergency committee met for the 15th time and recommended me that I declare an end to public health emergency of international concern. I have accepted that advice. That's coming from the WHO there. This is where Biden announces an end to federal COVID vaccine mandates. That was May 1st, 2023. And you see the prophecy talks about reversing the mandates. That was in 2022. November 11th, 2022, Laura Logan, listen to her next words. Evidence is coming, and this evidence will shred your enemy's narrative.
They're, oh, that's what they are. They're a global.
You might rewind that, Davey.
Rewind it.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready? All right, here we go.
Someone who I'm dying to have more time with. But this person's job for many years was to infiltrate what you call the global elites. What I would say to you, I no longer use that term for the most part because this person taught me that they're not elite. They're that's what they are. They're a global cult. And why does that matter so much? Because it's accurate. It's about who they really are and what they really want, where they're taking us. They're not taking us to a world, of elites, right? They're taking us into the dark heart of a cult. Where, what do you have? You have people whose one single most important defining objective is to eliminate and eradicate God. And I'm telling you, this is what this person who spent years, he had to read. Apparently, they have all this works and teachings and literature and so on and so on. I mean, he spent 2.5 years just studying everything from the rituals to the traditions to the ideology and so on and so on and so on, in order to be able to successfully infiltrate them at the UN level. Right? I can't tell you which faction he was part of. I don't want to give too much away. But one of the things I asked him is, I said, I get it, but I don't get it. The children. You got to, I have such a problem with this. You got to explain this one to me. And he said, well, first of all, you're looking at it the wrong way. I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, they don't define children the way you do. They don't define the world the way you do. The choices that you face are not their choices, right? They look at it completely differently. And I said, well, okay, so how do they look at it? And he said, for them, everything is defined by their one fundamental, all-consuming purpose. I said, which is what? He said, to defeat God, right? Because this is the moment. I mean, for them, it's about the real God. The true gods are them and Satan, there, right? And so he said, children are the closest thing on earth to God, because we are created in the image of God. And as you know, from the moment we're created, we haven't had time to be corrupted and destroyed. So for them, the younger you are, the closer you are to God, the more pain they can inflict on God. So the more you can make a baby or a small child suffer, the greater your victory over God. And that is the only consideration for them. Outside of that, doesn't exist.
So And what have we talked about and seen videos of in prior sessions? And that was Yuval Noah Harari talking about how they're going to go beyond the God of the Bible in their development and things like that. And then uh, Laura Logan, I think you probably need to keep your ears out to what she's actually going to say. If you know about James O'Keefe, he's released the Line in the Sand. That's a documentary where he and folks on his team infiltrated the Karens coming from South America through Mexico and all of that. And they expose a lot of the human trafficking. I have not seen that yet, but I've seen the trailer for it. So remember, Line in the Sand. I think you can go on tuckercarlson.com and you can actually watch it there. It does cost money. I'm not sure how much, but it'll eventually come out. It was released October the 10th. Okay, Penny, this name will be in your news. Okay, that was June 19th, 2022. All right, May 11th, 2023. Everybody probably remembers Daniel Penny, who basically got the guy in the subway in a chokehold, and the guy actually died, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
But his name, last name was Penny. And so Penny, this name will be in your news. It was in your news. All right. And here's another Fox News publication of that. April 3rd, 2022, lights, camera, action will be in your headlines. So when you see this, my children, it's time for my show. And it's time, and it's the time of their end. There's Jesse Waters, lights, camera, action, right there on the news. And it's talking about, you kind of see here where there's Daniel Penny. You also see the lights, camera, action, and it's two separate prophecies. Now, this one's interesting here. General Milley will announce a sudden retirement, not one by his own choice. Watch as more generals walk away saying they are retiring. It may look like, but it's not by their own choice. My hand is moving in cleansing your military of weasels, rats, thieves, and liars who were paid to make decisions against you in the United States. They turned their backs on you for power and money. They were paid by this fraudulent government and China. Oh, United States, China infiltrated your Pentagon in a major way. I am removing the infiltrators and traitors of this nation. Watch as generals start to fall. They will lose all the medals and honors they had previously received, whether they honestly earned or earned because they were paid to do certain jobs they should never have done. A shakeup has already begun in the military, and you will start to see it in the news. And that was July of 2022. And General Mark A. Milley announces retirement February 9th, 2023. Here's another prophecy speaking directly to General Milley. You will answer for what you have done against this nation, treason. Yes, people will find out who you are and what you have done. The military will strip you of your medals and remove any honor you have received. Treason will be your end and written on you for all eternity. This particular prophecy has not happened yet, but watch for it. And now I want you to think about this prophecy and think about what we talked about at the beginning of this session tonight about things happening in Gitmo, okay, and the JAG ships, okay. If folks aren't familiar with JAG, that's a military part of the military justice system, okay. Not sure what the actual acronym stands for, but somebody can probably help me out with that. I think, let's see, what time is it? It's about 8:20. It's probably a good place to stop there. And for any last comments or questions from folks that they may have.
Yeah, so JAG is an abbreviation for Judge Advocate General Corps.
Thank
So
you, sir.
most definitely their legal justice system, their criminal justice system. So like like I was a police officer with a guy who was a JAG attorney and the military, and so why he was a police officer, no idea. But I mean that's what he did. So, but yeah, very okay. I was like, what just happened? But very good stuff tonight, man. Very strong. But I don't have any comments. What about you, Jamie?
Everybody watching tonight, that you know what you're talking about,
Yeah.
and that you can bet everything on it. And I'm just playing with you, Davey. But it's. I tell you what, it's some things are not talking about prophecy. Just some things in the world that's happening is almost laughable with how exposure is coming. I mean, you can see it all over the place, Davey and Joshua. But here's the thing that we have to, for me at least, that I pray into is that people have eyes to see and ears to hear. That's key. I mean, that's Revelation's talk there. When he's talking to the churches of Revelation, he's like, give them eyes to see and ears to hear what the Lord is saying. And that's going to be key, I think, even in this election, November the 5th. And I think early voting started today. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. So, it's going to be key because a lot of these prophecies are talking about a certain candidate in the White House. It's that simple, you know. Um,
Yeah.
and so we're going to see, what we're 20 something days away. Really, not that it doesn't prove or disprove what prophecy is, but you've got people like Julie Green. She's sticking her reputation out there. She's just saying it. In the past years, there's been prophets or people who call themselves prophets. Man, they just tiptoe around this stuff. But I can tell you what, this chick, she just goes for it. And so, I tell you what, Davey, at the end of the day, or after November 5th, we're gonna know some stuff.
That's
People,
right.
there's no doubt.
And the common theme is, through these prophecies is the Lord has been saying, do not look to an election to save you. I'm
Right.
going to save this nation. Now, does that mean we don't go out and vote? No, we do what we're supposed to do. We go and we vote. Okay. We've
Yeah.
got to do that. And as Dan Bongino says, you haven't done your job unless you go and vote and bring 10 people with you. And
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
the other thing
Yeah.
is these prophecies, the fulfillment, we talked a little bit about this a couple of sessions ago about the funnel effect. They're starting to accelerate. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got the Puff Daddy stuff going on. Um, you've got the conflict between Biden and Kamala, where Biden's stepping on Kamala, during the press conference, coming on at the same time she was supposed to deliver remarks. And by the way, that was prophesied as well, that the infighting would increase in the Democratic Party, and specifically about the hatred between Biden and Kamala, and
Yeah.
that the media, have you seen the news reports of the media turning on Kamala? I mean, CNN of all folks, and I can remember prophecy back in 2022 when it talked about, I will force the media to tell the truth. I will, I'm going to paraphrase this one, but I will control their tongues. I will force them to tell the truth. And I just cannot believe my mind sometimes when I'm watching some of these clips and watching MSNBC and CNN just going straight against Kamala.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow.
Especially when she
So
said, I guess it was Monday. She goes, they didn't want her.
No.
They did not.
Right.
They did not want her. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, that's not the first prophecy. You go look up the word Kamala on that word search, and you'll see all the prophecies about Kamala. And something else I wanted to tell the folks too. I don't know which way this election is going to go. I don't know. I'm not
Right.
in the business of trying to predict that. I'm in the business right now of presenting information and letting folks make their own decision and doing their own research. But I will tell you this: one of the recent prophecies has said, if I recall it correctly, watch the time during the lame duck president. And that was a recent one. Now, what does that mean? Don't know. You know, if Kamala wins, right? And I feel wholeheartedly if she wins, it will be a flat out stolen election. There's no question in my mind based on what I've seen. But anyway, if she wins, well, that means, is Biden a lame duck president? Not really, because they still control the Senate, but the House is controlled by the Republicans still, I believe. So, in other words, the lame duck can't get any legislation done during that time period from the election to inauguration.
Well,
Now,
it's
if Trump wins,
if we get the even if she wins, Davey, and we get control of the Senate and the House, then it's more than a lame duck. It's it's a duck out of water. It's a duck that can't swim.
you can bet your bottom dollar if Trump wins November the 5th, that the activity, I guess we can just call it activity, the nefarious activity is going to increase. It's going to skyrocket. Now, is it going to happen right after that? I don't know. But I would look, if he wins, I would look into the first quarter of next year up into mid-year, because they're going to do everything they can to bring him down, because he's already said he's going after him.
If Trump wins, we're gonna put a Healy pad in your backyard.
Now, I've been built a bunker out here in White Oak.
But it's a Healy pad out there for the government for you.
A bunker with Starlink internet connection.
I know
Hey,
that.
listen, Davey. They'll come if they come to me. I'm like, Davey. Yeah, I know exactly where Davey lives.
You sell out.
Davey, I've never heard the name. I actually know the tree company, but I don't know the person.
Oh yeah, you talking about the people who own the they drill wells. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I wish I had a dime for every time I was asked that question too. One of these days I'm just gonna say, yeah, that's my daddy.
That's my dad.
See what their reaction is, you know.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. Well, Jamie, have you got anything?
No, I'm good. It's been a good night, and man, I tell you what, we are. Just hang on, guys. How many days we got left? I mean, somebody look it up.
Hold on.
Somebody fact check it. How many
21, 20, 21. 3 weeks from today. I'm going with 21. I'm gonna bet Josh's paycheck on it.
Uh-oh.
That's a big one.
20 days. I should have bet you.
I don't know, man. You shorted it by one.
20 days, 3 hours, 32 minutes, and 1 second.
Wow. And when is November 5th? What's election day?
November 5th. That is
Tuesday, isn't it?
That sounds right.
So when?
That's a Tuesday. You should have bet on that one.
It's on Tuesday?
Yep.
Ooh, just wait till that war's on. Oh my goodness.
It was on a Tuesday last year because, the last time because we aired it.
Oh, we got to do something special, Davey, for that. I mean, to like bring us some live stuff in, some
A
live
watch party or something like
watch
that.
party. Yeah. Shoot.
We can hook it up.
Well, hey, we just watch this stuff just start unfolding right here. Like, there it
No.
is. There it is.
Yeah.
In the 2020 election, hold on a second. What do we do? I don't remember.
On what?
No, because I mean, I thought I was at the church, but I don't really guess I was.
Oh, you're talking about the last one.
Mm-hmm. Weird.
We were not doing the war zone then.
No, I think we were at the church for something though. I thought we were.
I think you're right. I think we got home. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but we went to sleep thinking one thing and woke up and it was something else.
I was like, what just
Oh,
happened?
and by the way, the reports are coming back out about the U.S. mail, and that was in prophecy. Watch the mail, man. Y'all just bringing up all kind of stuff. Watch the mail. That was the phrase in prophecy.
Yeah. So we'll start promoting that too. November 5th will be a watch party on Warzone. So
Yeah, we'll share the screen and we'll share
share
some coverages from Newsmax. I think we should probably let Newsmax do it or something that.
I'll tell you what, it's hard to beat Bill Hemmer. He can work that map. I'm telling you.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's get whoever is legit and trustworthy.
Well, I mean, I was kind of thinking Fox News because they called Arizona with only 3% of the vote in. I mean, they knew it, right? They're going to be. I'm kidding, guys.
Yeah. Yeah. All the fraud was. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, y'all are like, okay, now it's time to tell them I'm joking.
That's a joke. That's a joke. But
All right.
well, if you ain't got nothing else, man, we're going to cut out of here, and we'll actually get some flyers or something, and we'll get it online to advertise a watch party for the election.
Sounds great.
All right, gentlemen, if y'all ain't got nothing else, we out of here.
All right.
See y'all.
Later.
See ya.